Hi, so this is what we painted yesterday. Welcome to my live stream. Today I'll be adding little details and mirror work on the painting. Yesterday I just did the base coloring on this, and this is the Lippan art. Let's start today. I'll be adding few details in this piece of Lippan art. So I'm just adding few details about the eyes of Jagannath Ji. Just trying to give a detail to it. That's it. So we'll be adding few dottings. So in Lippan art, mostly the detailing is done using adding the mandala dots. I'll show you how we can do it. Hello, Valiant Warrior. Welcome to my stream. So this I have taken the small dot brush from Mandala Kit tool. So I'll be using the tip of the brush to just dot on the painting. This is how we do. I'm using the paint to just pick it up, and then I'll just add a dot, just one dot, because the more you'll put on another space, it'll be a short dot. I'll show you later. That design also we can add. I'm just adding one dot above my design. So I'm just picking up the paint and just putting a dot. It's very simple. Just dotting is personally my favorite thing to do in this Lippan art. Usually people enjoy putting the mirrors on the Lippan art, but I enjoy putting dots on the art. So I'm planning to do dotting in this design also. So as I was saying, so I'll take a different tool. I just want a big dot on the next design. So I'll be taking a different brush. So as you saw, this was my smallest tool, a small brush than this. I'm using now the bigger brush to use the big dotting. So same way I'll just pick up the paint and I'll apply it here. So what I'll do is I'll just add one dot and then I'll go above it, and we'll be using the same picked paint on the brush. So see how it gives beautiful, right? The bigger than the shorter than the shorter. So with the same paint picked up, you just have to apply on that. So that gives a beautiful design, isn't it? So I'm planning to put one mirror inside this design. So I'm just giving the design on the outline. So see, I'll again show. I'm just giving one dot, then above it, above it, above it. See how the dots become small. That's what I like the beauty of these brushes. You just have to pick the paint once and just dab on the place wherever we want the design. That's why it is my favorite, putting the dots on the mandala, on the Lippan, sorry. And by the way, this is my just second Lippan art ever I have done. See, adding the detail looks good, right? So Lippan art is all about the patience. You have to keep patience, and slowly you'll see the piece has taken up the life. See. So make sure the paint is picked properly. See, I have not picked it up properly, so I'm doing it again from the same place I started, so that the dots, the size of the dots stays same. So we have to be careful while picking up the paint on the brush. See, again I'm just dabbing the brush on the design where I want to put it. I'm not putting any pressure on it. I'm just simply dabbing it very little pressure. See, I have not picked the correct quantity of the paint, so it has been ending on the. So what I'll do, I'll start with the same place where I started, the bigger dot, and I'll come up. So that we have to be careful while picking up the paint on the brush. Hi Tanu, hi Valiant Warrior. You're watching me on the YouTube too, right? So I'll be doing the same dotting on this design too, and I'll be adding one mirror here. So we'll add the dotting in the black part too. So after adding detail, it looks beautiful, right? Otherwise it was looking little plain. So sometimes it picks a lot of paints. So it's good to wipe it in between. See, the dots are not coming properly. So I just wiped it, cleaned it, and now I'll use it again. So after cleaning, now the dots are again clean, right? So I'm about to finish this white dotting. Maybe I'll add another color dotting in this circle and also in the tilak of Jagannath Ji. So maybe we can take a yellow color. So now I'm taking this gold color to do the dotting in this circle. So I'm using the smaller brush to have the small dots here because I'll be adding the mirror here, the layer of one line of the mirror, and then above it there will be dotting. So I'm doing the dotting first. So I'm using this yellow color, and here I will be picking the paint and dabbing. I will not be continuing. I think these are small. We can check it. Wait. So I'm planning to put this shape. I think here it'll be now it's visible. I guess, yeah. I'm planning to use this shape mirror in this circle. So I'm just checking the size whether these dots will be visible, or shall I can have the big dots also. No, the small is fine, right? Yeah. So we can apply like this. Okay, so we'll have this small dotting only. Okay, so let's just add the dotting. So I'm picking the paint and just giving a dot. I'm not continuing dotting because I don't want this size from big to small. I want the similar size. So I'm just picking up the paint and just adding the dot. So you have to just pick up the paint and put a dot. Pick the paint, put a dot. Pick the paint, put a dot. So you have to be very careful because the size of the mirror and the dotting is very close to each other. So we have to put dotting in such a manner that the dot doesn't get disappeared or doesn't be visible because of the size of the mirror. So we have to be very close. We have to put the dots very close to the string of this Lippan art of this circle. Yeah, there is a lot of dotting here. That's why Lippan art is mostly, and when we do mirror work, that time also we need a lot of patience. While any art needs patience. And what I feel is Lippan art needs a lot of patience. Hi everyone, whoever has joined my stream, welcome everyone here. So I'm painting the remaining part of my yesterday's painting. Today I'm adding details to my yesterday's painting. So I just did the base color of this painting, if you remember, and then today I'm adding the details into it. In details I have added the dotting. And I'm using Mandala Kit tool to add the dottings. I'm planning to put mirrors here, and that's why I'm adding dotting close to this string of the circle. Once again, thank you everyone for joining me. So I'm just picking the paint and putting the dot. So every time I'm picking up the paint for each dot because I want equal sized dots. If you'll not pick the paint for each dot, the dots will not be of equal size. See, I can show you. If I put it again without picking, you'll see the dot is smaller than the previous one, right? So we have to pick up if we want equal size paint dots, we need to pick up the paint for every dot. That's why it needs a lot of patience because we have to be careful while adding dots or any detail. In fact, in any painting, adding detail always needs patience. So I'm done with the dotting of this circle. Let's add dotting to the tilak of Jagannath Ji. So maybe I'll use another brush for the dotting. I'm using a bit bigger one, which I used here, the same one. And I'm using the yellow dots on. I'll be putting the yellow dots here also. So I'm just trying to add. I think we can go, yeah, let's add the similar size. That will be much visible also, I guess. So when we don't pick the paint sufficiently on the brush, the dot will not be clear, or it will not be perfect circle. So we have to be very careful while picking up the paint on the brush. And if it doesn't appear of the same size, you can again go and put a dab on the same dot. It will be a little bigger. Like I'm feeling, because the previous dot is bigger, so I'm again applying this paint on the same dot to make it of the same size. I guess this much detail is enough. Now we can add mirrors, right? I think just add a small dot here. And here, and maybe one down, right? Yes. You can be as creative as you want. That's why I like art, because there are no limits in the art. We just keep on going until we get satisfied with the designs, right? So I think this is my details. I'll add this much details, and before putting on the mirrors, I would say I will varnish the piece. Varnishing is very important. So after mirror, it is difficult to varnish. So before putting on the mirrors, I'll varnish the piece. And before varnishing, we have to make sure that it is completely dry. It should be dry, otherwise the colors will spread. So I'll just quickly dry it off, and I'm going on mute for that because it will irritate, the sound will irritate you guys. So my paint is now completely dried. I can now apply varnish. So I have used the Liquitex varnish here, and I have added a little bit of water to it because what I feel, see, I still feel that it is thick. So I'll be adding more water to it. So it depends on the varnish. Sometimes some varnishes are thin only and some varnishes are thick. So I feel adding water into it and then applying on it. Varnish is very important for any art piece because it protects the layer of the coloring. It protects the painting from dust to get sticked, and also it gives the glossy look, shiny look. Depend on the varnish. Some are matte finished varnishes too, but I like personally the glossy ones. I guess I have added more water, but that's fine. So we put the varnish before adding the mirror details. So I'm adding thin layer of varnish here. That will dry quickly also. Some art piece needs heavy or thick varnishing, but this kind of artwork can have thin varnishing also. It's also depends on the quality of the varnish. So you have to make sure the paint should be completely dried before you apply varnish on it. Otherwise you may mess up your hard work done on the piece. See, I've done the half and I can see the glossy look. I don't think you guys can see because maybe you can. I think it has been captured in the camera. Let me know in the comments if you're also seeing it shiny. I feel like while varnishing we should go like in a particular pattern. I'm like whenever I varnish I just varnish randomly, and then I feel like whether I have done or not. But in glossy we can find it where I have and where I'm not. So that's the good part of the glossy, because it's transparent, right? So sometimes I don't know if other artists feel that or not, but I do. So in Lippan you have to make sure that each and every string is varnished, and even the the little gaps between two strings or something. So make sure everything is covered while varnishing. So that thing need to be taken care while varnishing the Lippan art. See how I'm going to these gaps between, like it's a very small gap, but you be sure that you have varnished it. Otherwise in glossy look, the glossy one it won't look good later once it get dries, like some part is done and some part is being. So just make sure that every part of the art piece has been covered with the varnish. I guess I have covered it. Also you can see it like that. Yeah, I think I have done almost everywhere. So just make sure everything is covered with the varnish. I think I am done with varnishing. I'll be now just quickly drying it again. And then we'll add mirror details, which is my second favorite thing in Lippan art after dotting. Once again, thank you everyone for being here, for watching me live painting this. And this is my first painting which I'm doing live. So it's a big support from you guys watching here, staying here, watching me paint live. I really appreciate. So I'm just trying to re-varnish over the strokes which I'm seeing because of the varnish, wherever the varnish is applied more on some some places, right, on the piece. So I'm just trying to remove those strokes, because once it gets dry, they may not look good on your art piece. So I'm just trying to, wherever it is staying excess, I'm just trying to spread it. And also it will be easy for me to dry it. So I think I'm now done with varnishing. I'll be now quickly drying it. So it's completely dry now. Now I'll apply the mirrors to this piece, which is the most important part of Lippan art. And it makes the art piece look shiny and beautiful. So I'm planning to put this shape, the leaf shaped mirror, in the inner circle of the on the face of the Jagannath Ji. See, like this maybe. So I'll be covering with these shapes in this circle. I'll be applying a little, and in the outer circle I will be applying this square diamond shaped mirrors. I think you can see now, right? Yeah. So I'll be adding diamond shaped mirrors here on this circle, and maybe in this I can add a drop shape. I don't know what you call the shape. I just call it a drop shape. So maybe this is big. No, I think this is fine, right? Not too big. But yeah, that will go. We'll add this shape mirror in all of this design on the petals of this flower, and maybe this smaller one. I have few smaller drop design also in the mirror. So maybe I'll apply on the this part, the above these petals. Maybe this inverted, this will look good, right? So this is how I'll fill it, and I'll use the glue to stick the mirrors. So let's start adding the bigger ones, the outer circle. So what the faster way is to first apply the glue. Let me cut. I don't think I have cut it. Yeah. So I'm just applying the glue first here, layer of the glue. So quickly I can apply. The mirror pieces. See, you have to place it very carefully, seeing how much space you have. Try to stay in the middle of the circle. So if you see here, I'm just applying here. So one by one we can add the mirrors. Adding mirror is also or does need a lot of patience, and because it's my favorite, so I like it, adding mirror, and also it makes it beautiful. So patience, the level of patience also has its results. It will make your art look more beautiful. So one by one we are just sticking the mirrors in the outer circle of this piece. So again, you can be as much creative as you want to be with these mirrors. You can add your own choice of mirror designs. Even people add some colored mirrors, some colored art pieces into the Lippan art. So again, depend on your choice, your creativity. So one by one, just adding them. See, after adding, you can now clearly differentiate, right? After adding the mirrors, it is adding more life, right? The mirrors are adding more life to this piece. You can also use the plucker to uh, handle these mirrors, but I don't feel comfortable handling the mirrors with the plucker. Maybe some small pieces of mirror can be, but I feel more easy to put it with my own hands rather than the plucker. So I'm just applying the glue as I'm going forward, and then I'm just quickly placing the mirrors on it. This glue is visible once it is wet, but once it gets dry, you won't see the glue outside the mirrors. So once it is wet, it will be there, but once it gets dried, it will not be visible. But make sure that you apply not too much of the glue. Just apply sufficient glue so that it doesn't come out of the mirror pieces. Hello and welcome everyone again who have newly joined here. I'm doing this Lippan art. I did half of this painting yesterday and the remaining one I'm doing it today. So thank you for being here watching me live. I really appreciate you guys being here on the streaming. Oops. So this happens with me a lot. I just place the mirrors inverted sometimes. Sometimes my daughter also helps me to put these mirrors. She also enjoys putting these mirrors on the art. So we are about to finish the outer circle, and you can see already the shine which has been added to this piece, right? And that's why the mirrors are the beauty of the Lippan art. See, sometimes this happens, so you will be ending with a small space or maybe a big space. So just adjust them because they are still wet. So you'll find space for the last one. So I'm just moving them, but be careful while moving them. Don't mess up with the circle, because otherwise it won't look good later. So I have just moved them because they're still wet, right? So just making up the space for the last one. And now it's, maybe I'll move these one too little bit. See, once I moved it, so moving them also little careful we have to be. And there I made a space, see. So just adjust them while they are wet. So the outer circle is finished. It's looking beautiful, right? I enjoy doing this after putting the mirrors. I don't know, I know it's funny, but still. Okay, so let's add this mirror here in the petals. So I'll be adding the big drop mirrors, drop shapes in the petals, and the small drop shapes in the outer part of the petals. So I'm just adding it here. Give me a second. So be very careful while placing these drop mirrors. We have to just align them carefully, just like the sharp point should point to the petal upper point, right? It'll, otherwise it won't look good if it will not be aligned. So all these small tips, if we follow, you'll end up with a good art piece. The alignment of the mirrors, the alignment of the dots, so all these things matters. So I'm just applying the glue so that I'll just have to stick the mirrors. So thank you for liking my art. I really appreciate. See, after adding these mirrors in the petals, The difference you can see, right? It looks beautiful. Just press after adding, just to make sure it got sticked. So I'm just pressing it with a very little pressure on it. So the alignment of the mirror also is important. It should, the sharpness should point here to the sharp point of the petals too. Then it will look good. Yep. Also always try that if there is like a symmetric design, then add the mirrors also symmetrically. Otherwise the layout won't look good. Okay, so these big drops have been done. Now I'll be doing the smaller ones here and this, like this one. I think now you can see, right? So I'm just adding here. Okay, so I'll add the glue first. Applying the glue first and then like all at once is faster than applying once glue, one mirror, one glue, one mirror, right? So So I'm just adding this small mirrors now. See, now this leftover space is also looking like above the petals is also looking beautiful, right? After adding the mirrors. So the more you add mirrors, the more it will look beautiful. But depends on your design and depends on your own creativity. Even more, we can add more mirrors like this. See, if I add one here and one here, that will again be a new, but depend on the space and the design what you are using. So you can be more creative with your own art piece when you create. So one by one I'm just adding the small mirrors too, and it is coming together. How beautiful it is coming together, right? So there was a hole on this MDF board just to hang it on the wall. So I'm just covering that with the help of a mirror because I don't want that hole. to be visible on this piece. I'll be applying some other wall hanging thing behind this piece so that it will be easy to hang it on the wall. Okay, so this part is also done. Now we'll be adding mirrors to this circle and then it will be done. So I'll be adding these leaf shaped mirrors. I'll show you. So these are the leaf shaped mirrors. These are very small. So but it will cover, when it will be covered, it will look good. We can add this way also, like in the horizontal. So that is again be another design, but I am liking it to put them vertical so that it covers the whole circle. So let's start putting the mirrors in this circle. So as I said, see, that's why I was putting the dots close to the string, because I wanted the dots also to be visible once I put the mirrors. So because these are very small, right? So you have to be very careful while placing them. So maybe you can use the plucker to place them properly. See, because it was not aligned properly, it was not looking good, right? So what I just took the help of the plucker and I aligned it properly. See, that's why I don't like this plucker. But then small mirrors do need the help of pluckers. So I'm just applying them. Make sure they are straight, they are vertical, properly aligned on the circle. Otherwise, once it will be finished, it won't show a proper circle. So be very careful while placing them. So one by one again, you have to just cover the whole circle. Once it will be done, you'll see the difference. So I'm applying again the glue. Just make sure you don't apply much quantity of the glue, because otherwise it will be visible after it gets dry. So just sufficient amount of glue will be enough. I'll just quickly fill up my mirror palette again. Okay, so see, so you have to make sure these dots are also visible after these mirrors are sticked. So be careful while placing them, while sticking them to the circle. And that's why I did the dots before sticking the mirror, so that I'll know the spacing of the mirrors to place it. The small mirrors take time to get stick because we have to see the alignment. I'm not good with plucker handling these mirrors. Some mirrors are not cut properly, so make sure you don't use those mirrors. Take the proper shaped mirrors only, because sometimes the mirrors, they do have defective pieces too. See how the circle is filled with the mirrors, right? The difference you can see without the mirror and with mirror. So one by one, slowly we have to cover the whole circle. I know it takes time, but after finishing it, you'll see the difference without mirror and with mirror. You'll definitely like it. So I just want to tell that if you guys try Lippan art ever, Just have patience and trust the process, because once it will be finished, you'll be proud of yourself. You're gonna like it definitely. All you need is patience. Sometimes I just struggle to pick these with the help of a plucker. That's why I like my own hands. But these small mirrors, especially in the small region, it needs plucker. You just pick it up and place it where you want. I know. Once again, thank you everyone for being here. The piece is about to come together, all together. Just wait for the last mirror to be placed and it will be all done. See, I struggle just holding it. So half of the circle is done. We'll be finishing it soon. Even I'm excited to finish it and see how it looks. So I'm keeping it here so that I can pick it quickly. The best way to pick them up is just spread them and just hold it. On a plate, or you can spread it on a plate or just a plain surface. Just make sure that you are following the circle. The alignment is very important here. Oops. Thank you so much for watching my art. appreciate. And again, I'll tell you that this is my first painting which I'm doing live. I did yesterday the half part, just the base colors, and today I just added the details and the mirror work. So thank you for being here. It really motivates me. So adding one by one, very patiently, makes the piece beautiful. See, just make sure that they are placed along the circle. If they are moved, shifted a bit up, just move them while they are wet. I'm planning to come live more often. I'll be doing another painting live again. So if you like it, please do support. And please subscribe my channel if you haven't yet. And follow me on Twitch. That will be a big support. We're almost done. Just some alignment has been moved. So just adjust them again while they are wet. I think my plucker has picked up the gum, the glue. So mirrors are getting stick to it. I'll just wipe it off. Okay. one by one. Slowly we'll be finishing it by adding one by one all the mirrors. So if you want to learn this painting, how much time it will take? It will just take, if you learn it dedicatedly, it just takes one day. It depends on practice. The more you practice, the more you will be able to learn it. And as I already said, it just needs patience. And there is nothing that we can't do in this painting. It's easy, it just takes time and your patience. That's it. And it's almost done. Just few more pieces of mirror and then done. I would say just give it a try to this painting. You definitely can do it. If I can do it, anybody can do it. That's what I feel. So it's done finally. And see the shine the mirrors has added to this piece. I hope you like it. I would say you just give it a try, you'll be able to do it. Just watch this stream. I have tried giving all the tips and tricks, and I'm really apologize, yesterday it was not audible, but if you have any problem, do reach me out, or any doubt, or if you try it, please watch my stream, you'll be able to follow it. Thank you everyone for watching it. Thanks for being here. Thank you everyone.